Have you ever heard of the YouTube channel Tail Foundry? Tail as in Tale, Foundry as like your blacksmith foundry, metal foundry kind of thing. I love the aesthetic because he's got that CPG gray thing going on where like he pretends he's a robot and it's animated and he breaks down stories and I think they also write stories, stuff like that, and just basically it puts out a video every week, like really productive. He's got a team, that helps him animate the stuff. So anyway, great YouTube channel. The reason I bring it up is I just finished watching one of his videos about world building, and he makes a point that, and I've said this before, like I actually believe this. One of the reasons I love the channel because we see eye to eye on all this shit. He made the point that like the author should know 90% more of the world and how it functions and how everything works than they put on screen or they put in text. So, in other words, George R. R. Martin understands that in the medieval system, when you have a 3 to 4 year winter, and then a 3 to 4 year spring, and then a 3 to 4 year summer, and a 3 to 4 year fall, and then a 3 to 4 year winter, and it could be like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But like it's multiple years of each season, right? It's multiple years of each season. He understands when you have that, the economy is going to change. So, for instance, in Dunkin' Egg, you can get a full meal with like steak and meat and some drinks and stuff like that and vegetables and a horse for like one dragon. Because in summertime, food is plentiful, right? Like the meals are really cheap because food is everywhere. But in Song of Ice and Fire, they're in the fall and they're heading into winter. With their people are more stingy with their food supplies, right? Because they don't know how long the winter's gonna be. They gotta hope that the winter's gonna be about 5 years and store up enough food. So food is not as plentiful. People are socking it away. The same meal that Duck and Egg were able to get in the summer is going to be twice or three times as much if the season is the wintertime. Now, he never comes out and says this. Oh, as you know, Bob, food is more scarce in this season than in this season, so it's going to be more expensive in this season than it is in this season. He never says that. He just demonstrates it. It can slide right past you. You won't even notice it. In this story, it's this much, and in this story, it's this much. And meanwhile, like it's not like there's inflation or anything. Like the economy is like things are stable otherwise because the technology doesn't evolve. They're in the same place in Dunk and Egg as they are in Song of Ice and Fire technology wise, right? So things are gonna be pretty stable as part of that. Like all things being equal, your meal would be the same here as it would be here, except all things are not equal because it's a different season. Right after there's been a famine and a lot of people have died from disease, which is what always followed. You always have like a plague that happens after a famine in medieval times. There's gonna be less workers, so a worker can make more money per day than if there hasn't been a famine and there hasn't been a plague. There's like 5 times as many available workers. They can pay less because if you don't take it, somebody else will. If you don't take it, somebody else will. But what if 10% of people have died? There's less workers. So now you can demand more money. He also baked that into the story. And I didn't notice these things. Somebody else pointed this out on some YouTube channel, and I'm coming off the back of it. Other people have noticed these things, and they point this out. But it's never explicitly said. It's just like when a person tries to do his day work in this story, he gets this much, and when he tries to do a day of work in this story, he gets this much. And and people notice the pattern. Like in this situation, there had just been a famine, and there's less workers available because there's a famine and a plague. In this situation, there hasn't been these things, and there's workers everywhere. He mentions like there's how many people were applying for jobs and stuff. So he doesn't come out and say it explicitly. This is why this is the way it is, because he knows 90% more than he actually tells you on the page. Now he does he tells you some of this other 90% in what I said. You can infer things. Okay, because this is this way, this is why this is this way, this is what he knows. He didn't tell you, but you can infer it, right? So where am I going with all this? Well, this guy's a genius, the One Piece guy, right? I already know that already. And also, like those videos I watched a couple weeks back, the essays tell me the same thing. Like He's a genius. He has sat down and thought about all this stuff. Now, in the early days of writing the manga, maybe he didn't have everything figured out. But by the time they translated it to the screen, he was much further on, and people can go back and they can backfill some of the stuff. I don't know. So what I wonder, I'm going to be, as we move along, I'll be raising world building questions that we can all think about. Maybe the answers, if their answers are given later in the text, don't tell me. But if it's just theories you've seen and people have inferred things like what I talked about just now with the plague and famine and stuff, if people have inferred things, point those out. If it's not been explicitly stated, so I don't want to be spoiled, but theories are just theories; they're not spoilers. So one of the things I wonder about is how does the economy work here? Because you apparently have a crap ton of pirates out there, like a crap ton, like a massive number of pirates. But how many pirates can any world economy sustain? Because, commerce, people are, France is trading with England, and say France trades $1 million worth of grain a year to England. And in return, they get $1 million worth of gold and maybe spices and stuff like that. It makes no sense. What I'm saying makes no sense for France and England, but just using it as an example. So they're trading, and you send 1 million bushels of grain here, and you get 1 million bushels of spice back, and you use this spice to make your people happy, and they use the grain to feed their people, and everybody's happy. So both countries profit from this, right? Both are getting something out of this. But if you had pirates, a massive number of pirates in between these two countries, and in any time you send a convoy out either direction, it gets robbed. And so 90% of your product that you sent out doesn't ever reach the other country, which means, and then 90% of what they send you doesn't reach them. And meanwhile, both of you are pissed off because you're not getting what you expected to get. So then you start sending less. The economy suffers. You see what I mean? Like, if the pirates are such a problem, commerce would stop. So not only would the countries suffer, but then they would stop sending ships out, because what's the point of sending out a ship if it's just going to get captured? And you're never going to get the profit that you wanted from that. So then if ships stop going out, how are pirates making their money and getting food? So then they starve off, right? So then you wouldn't have that many pirates. It's a very fragile system. It's just like the whole predator-prey thing. Like, sometimes we'll release some predators in this area because there's just too many deer. There's like, 5,000 too many deer in this location, this forest. So you put a couple wolves in there, and they cut down on the population. That's what nature does, right? We have to do it manually now because we've screwed everything up in the world. But like back then, nature would say, hey, by the way, this wolf pack, go over there. I don't know how nature tells a wolf pack, but they do, right? And so they go over there and they start cutting back on this deer population because there's just too many damn deer. But what if the wolves are too many? Well, the deers will leave, right? The deer will leave, and so then there won't be this many wolves for very long. There won't be a 10-year period where there's 5,000 too many wolves in this area because there's nothing for them to eat because everybody will have left because, they're eating everything, right? They wiping out entire populations, running them off. So they will starve to death. So then the wolf population reduces. So it's not sustainable, right? Things reach an equilibrium. If 10 ships is sustainable, but 100 pirate ships isn't, you're not going to have 100 pirate ships for very long. It'll drop down to 10 because you can't sustain it. So there are a lot of pirates here. Now, some of them stay on land, which makes sense. They're like barons, in other words. And not all pirates are robbing ships. Like, we don't see Luffy and his crew robbing ships. So it just makes me wonder, like, how many pirates are there? And how does the commerce sustain itself with this many pirates out there? And also, by the way, France and England will start sending out the galleasses or merchant ships that are armed. They'll have cannons, and then they'll start attacking your little pirate fleets, or they'll send out warships. Back in the day, in medieval times, warships were just trade ships that they put cannons on. If you go to war, you take the cargo off the ship and you put weapons on the ship, and then now it's a warship. They didn't have actually dedicated warships back then. They were just commerce ships. If you had a large fleet, you had to convert it, which means you're not using that fleet to make money right now, but you have a war, so you got to do that, right? So they didn't really have dedicated, but they would start building dedicated warships. And that's probably what they're talking about, this Marines situation. And somebody was telling me in the comments that the Marines are like actually a national, it's like a worldwide thing. There are Marines everywhere, and the Marines are obviously a response to all this piracy. So I know that the author, and I don't know this for a fact, but I am confident that the author has thought about all this, has worked it out. This is the number of pirates that is sustainable in this economy. This is how other countries have responded, and these are how these pirates are living. They must not be like just straight up just stealing all the time. You can't sustain a living that way. So what else are they doing? Maybe they do a little bit of trade. Maybe they never attack anything going in and out of these two cities, and while they go back and forth, they're moving cargo. And they get to Newport and they sell it, and maybe if they've also taken over some ships that are going to other places that they took, they will sell that stuff too. So you have ships, you might as well use them for something, right? So maybe they're doing commerce. So maybe it's not that, and maybe some of these are just like adventurers. They're not robbing anybody. They make their money somehow. I don't know how. Luffy, like apparently he has survived on the kindness of strangers so far as I've seen, because we ain't seen him work yet, right? But he'll save a town and get fed. So, but yeah. So long intro. I know I'm gonna try not to have like massively long intros all the time, but as I move along, I will be thinking about these world building questions. I'm really gonna be wondering about the 90% we don't see explicitly, and what people can infer from that. So that's gonna be a lot of fun as we move forward. All right. Well, this is episode 10, and you see where we are? We're one frame past the title, and we're going on one. 3, 2, 1. That's right. It's oolong, right? I was putting an S in there for no reason. That's right. Keep lying. Why are you lying, though? Yeah, see, kindness of strangers. Just asking, hey, can I have a ship? Yep, this guy's dangerous too, man. I've already seen the end of this story arc. Of course, I've seen these two, but you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. So now, I think I've seen now. He has one hand on his hat and one on his belly, and he's walking backwards. One of the weirder characters I've ever seen. And this never gets explained. Why does he walk like this? Maybe you see who was there if you were facing the way you're walking. Dumbass. Dude is weird. The weirdest guy ever. He is, yeah. Well, I guess the intention is for him to be weird. So they achieve their purpose. This is unacceptable. I can hear a bunch of reasons later. Yeah. I have a lot to say. Uso. There is an S in there. There is an S in there. That's why I was trying to say Uso for some reason. But it's Uso. Okay. Why do you sound like you don't believe me? Admire, huh? Uh oh. She knows he's being a dick. Uh oh. How dare you? I stay away from nothing. Yeah, I take showers. $20. Why does he keep doing this? It's obviously a personality tick, right? Wow. He really is a passive aggressive bitch, ain't he? Yeah, yeah. He's lust for treasure. Yeah, but the amount you've insulted him so far is okay, but don't do it anymore. Not a single bit more. Well, he is undressing this dude, man. He is undressing you. Your only recourse is violence. Now you're about to catch these hands. Because I believe this dude's really nice with the violence, as I remember, the butler. Now he's mad. I mean, he's making some points, right? He's making some points. He made you look really bad in front of her, which is his point. I like piracy. Oh, so you are a liar. No issues here. Brave warrior of the sea. That's one interpretation. We're seeing a lot of his shoes. I didn't even notice his shoes last time, but I'm seeing a lot of them this time. Yep. Don't look good, dude. I'm just saying. Sins of the Father. He's about to kick your ass again. I'll thrash you. Meanwhile, we know the guy could just destroy him physically the way he's destroying him verbally, right? It's all about putting on a show for the chick. Kaya, I think her name is. That's right. Unhand me. Yeah, that's right. Boy, you just got torn apart, man. You're dead to me. So she. Now they're big mad. Butler? Was that on purpose? Not the stupid head. He's very impressionable, isn't he? Yeah, you better get scared. Hey, man, get off me. Look at that, the light through the leaves and stuff. People said the animation was ass. What are you talking about? Maybe it's later. That was good stuff. They're doing really interesting stuff with where they put the camera. You know what I mean by put the camera. Look at this. We're at the top of the ceiling, down through the chandelier, looking at her. It makes her feel small, which it's all visual storytelling. Very effective. Yeah, you made the cook sad. That's right, guilt tripper. Yeah, but you're a dick too. I like how they play this because I don't think I suspected anything. I think I was a little suspicious of him. I don't think I fully appreciated the first time I watched this how savage he was towards Oolong, right? I thought he was just being protective. Now that I know the way he really is, it colors the way I saw that scene, obviously, right? But I don't, I don't remember how I responded to this last time, but I was probably suspicious because I'm suspicious of everybody. But I don't think I picked up on what he was putting down, like how evil he is. I just love what they do visually. It's a visual medium, animation more than any other like form of storytelling. It's so visual because you can do anything you want. Yeah, look at you lying. Yeah. Kick his ass. So this is how you insinuate himself into her life, huh? And probably killed her dad. This is outrageous, sir. I love what they do. Like I said, your only limit is your imagination when it comes to animation, and probably your budget. But yeah, who died after I came here for some reason? Interesting. Then why did you? He is working this, man. He is working it. Who I most definitely killed. For 100% killed him. Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, screw him. Damn, not a blockhead. Yes, blockhead will do fine. He's playing this so good, man. So good. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Whatever, I guess we're just hanging out. These kids will probably show up 500 episodes from now, and I won't remember them. Put a pin in that till that happens. He's the most freaked out at all. Terrible news. Maybe you kids should be playing stickball or something. Instead of spitting in each other's faces, minding everybody's business but your own. Um, Literally every single thing about you is weird. Everything, even your gloves. I just like to pose. I'm all about the posing. I forgot about his hypnosis. Yeah, that's his thing, isn't it? Look at him. Give me paid. Wait, he changed his mind so fast. Why should I show you my techniques? Here's my techniques. The hell? Yeah. Yep. The four triangles, I guess, or no, boomerangs. They look like boomerangs. Universal symbol for what the hell is going on. Yeah. Hey, man. Why are you so weird? He actually cares about his emotional well being. I don't think I picked up on that either. Look at this. He came to find him because he was worried about his emotions, his feelings. That's interesting. I really did think he was just a distant, you know, raging narcissist, Luffy, I'm talking about, who only cared about his pursuit and was just above it all, right? Like, boy, was I wrong. The fact he sought him out is very interesting to me. It tells me a lot about his character. And I don't think he's sitting there trying to recruit him either. I think he's just, he's just here because he cares. That's interesting. Yeah, otherwise, he can eat my ass. Look at him. Hey, man, why you shove my face in the dirt? And here you are already doing something. Not only is he weird, he's massively in denial. Not good. Yeah, it's all coming together. Yeah, let's declare it very loudly for everybody to hear. Dumbass. I'm not one for going over a plan once it's been put in place, right? Can't be overheard if you never talk about it again. Yep, that was absolutely necessary. Yeah, a bad ring to it. I'm a piece of crap, but let's not put it out there. It's kind of what I was saying. Though you don't want to just actually. There's certain words you don't want to say. Yeah, maybe a shoe related accident since we're spending so much time looking at them. Damn. So it's a pirate incident. That's not really an accident. Well, then why are you doing this? I'm going to tell you everything. Ah. I'm just now bringing this up. Get me paid. He 100% killed the parents. Then he wanted her to get old enough where she could legally write a will, right? Not only get old enough, but also have everybody trust him. Yeah, that's right. I'm a pirate. Yeah, yeah. Yep. This Marine thing is going around, I guess. And this is how they play it. They put people in the courtyard on the thing and they kill them, right? Were they going to kill Zorro? I guess not, but they use the same post for everything. Whether you're going to kill him or not. He's up in his feelings, but that's hilarious, sir. He is livid. Yeah, man. We ain't trying to wait too long. Look at them with their evil grins. Wonder what the crab thinks of this. I don't think he's emotionally prepared for all this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See what I mean? He comes across like he's above it all, right? There's a lot more going on with him than I thought there was. He's playing the long game. With their hatchets. This is pretty much how it's going to go down. They'll be shirtless and they'll be ripped. He won't just have a six pack, he'll have a 12 pack. Anyway, want to go out for the Arby's? Yeah. He is not a man of a thousand plans. Look at him, man. Yeah. He pretty much comes straight at you, man. He's not hiding in the shadows trying to be Littlefinger. I was right when I talked about it. Like, he may be one of the people terrified. Look at it, man. Dude, chill. Yeah. I don't think I would have done Luffy's plan, but, I get it. He comes straight at you. He's not trying to screw around. Get it done. Yeah, let's do what this man says. Yeah. Must not look. you know, the fact that he puts himself to sleep when he does that is the dumbest thing about him. And I don't mean that as like a dumb writing choice. I mean, the character is stupid. Even Kuro's over it, right? Oh well. Well, I am a pirate, and I guess I don't care about murder. Look at him. Now he's really mad. Shall I take care of him? He's insignificant. This is a good plan because they trash every house. There's no one thing they got to do though. We're probably close to the end. I'll talk about that at the end. Yeah, really, ass first. That's what we're doing. No plan survives contact with the enemy, and they're not going to believe you because you cried wolf too many times. We already know that's happening, right? Good times. Yeah, it's gonna be BS. Damn, man. I thought you were nice. I mean, they just met. I get it. Yeah. Really. Why did I think of my worst story? I should have thought of one of the few she actually liked. Yep. Good thing he's dead. He's so evil. I'm into it. Ah, it's got cat ears. That feels on brand. Yep, ass first. Hmm. What do you think about it now, buddy? Nope, he fell off again. Hey, I like what they did there. The little water ripple, right? Okay, so for this plan to be 100% airtight, since his plans are all flawless, right? Every single plan is flawless. You have to kill more than just her because they're randomly going around. They're storming houses, tearing them up. You have to kill a couple of the other people. I would say a minimum of 3 to 4 other townspeople in other locations around the island. And these people are just careless. Slam some heads against walls, slams them on tables and stuff like that. Let some people be horribly injured. They don't die, but they could have died. Some people do die. So it just looks like they love violence. They're irredeemably violent, and they just slap people around. They're not really trying to kill people, but they don't mind if they do. Give that overall impression, right? And then of course she's the actual target. Like somebody pretends to be a serial killer, so they kill 8 people, but the one of the people in the middle is the one they really want dead, and they just cover it with the serial killer thing. That kind of, same concept. But yeah, I don't think he needs notes from me because all of his plans are flawless.